Hello boys and girls, this is ImAnderZEL of course, and oh yes, welcome to another Battlefield 3 video. And you guys have been asking the whole entire last week for jet gameplay, tank gameplay and chopper gameplay. You guys got the jet gameplay during the weekend, and you got chopper gameplay during the Friday, and now during this week I got at least one video with just tank gameplay. This is about like 20 minutes almost. And I would say only maybe 2 minutes are not tank gameplay. So you guys are gonna like this if you guys have been looking forward to some tank gameplay and shooting some choppers out of the sky and stuff like that. Hell yeah, baby! Hell yeah! Starting to sound like an American sergeant. Maggot, dropping, give me 20! Yeah! So, I've mentioned this a few times before, and I haven't really like gone into depth about it. And it's basically how the Swedish military works, or basically how the armed forces, or what the hell you're gonna call it. Anyways. By law, you were actually required just until a few years ago to serve in the Swedish army for at least 9 months, or you would go to jail. But luckily, that rule changed right when I turned 18. Basically, the rule said it's basically called Försvarsmakten. It's basically defense forces. It's not like air force or anything like that like America has. We call it defensive forces basically, because Sweden isn't that much of a war country anymore. There's really no countries we would be able to go to war with, like on purpose, and actually win. So basically what our army is for defense. It simply isn't good for anything else. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we got good men and stuff like that, but it's just too few of everything. It's like we don't have enough tanks, we don't have enough choppers, we don't have enough jets, we don't even have enough good men, because we're a small country, and yeah, we would never gain anything from going to war for oil or some stupid shit like that. We would just lose people, and so we don't do it. I know, we're smarter than the United States of America. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry, all you Americans. But you guys go to war for some stupid reasons sometimes, sadly. But anyways, basically the rule was, let's see now, it's basically 5 years since they changed this rule, and the rule was that every able-bodied man that turned 18 had to join the army for at least 9 months and do what we call värnplikt, basically forced military service to give you a basic knowledge and training about warfare. And that has been going on for many years in Sweden. So everybody that's a bit older than me, everyone that's basically 1 year older than me, probably is trained as a military man. In one way or the other, especially if they're like 10 years older. I mean, every able-bodied man that's over 30 years something in Sweden has guaranteedly done their värnplikt, or their forced military service, or their duty to the country, what the hell you want to call it. And basically learned how to either operate a tank, operate some kind of light anti-air vehicle or something like that, or just regular army men basically. And some of course have done a little bit longer service and like been trained as more advanced like Navy SEAL kind of soldiers and stuff like that. I mean, my father, he's trained actually as one of the later ones, so to say. I think he did his värnplikt for a lot longer than most people, due to the fact that he was trained as basically I would call it almost a Navy SEAL, but for Sweden. So instead of a lot of swimming and diving and stuff, it's mostly skiing. Because the training all the training actually evolved around the fact that you would defend your country. Was never about attacking, so all the training was done in Sweden, in Swedish terrain and all stuff like that, and it still is, but since it's not mandatory anymore, you don't have to do it anymore. Since, as I said, it changed actually when it was my turn, and luckily, thanks to that, I didn't have to do it. They changed the rules there, but they had gradually like taken in less and less people every year. But before, you couldn't even escape. Like a few years earlier than that, when I was like 15, if you were a guy and you were 18, you couldn't escape the doing your military duty to your country, so to say. But I mean, it's a noble thing, really, since it is only to actually defend your country, and it was mostly if Ivan would show up, as they say, if the Russians would come, and basically we call Russian people Ryskar, and we always, when you said you were afraid for the Russian people to come and take you, they said var rädd för ryssen, akta ryssen, watch out for the Russian guy, basically. So basically that all the Cold War stuff and all that kind of stuff, we knew that since we have a lot of iron and stuff like that deposits in Sweden, we would be a pretty nice target for any Russians wanting to get a piece of Europe, and that's also a great way to actually like get away inside Europe in an easy manner, so to say, and like get Norway too, with their fjords and their great places to have ships and U-boats and stuff like that, and yeah, submarines. I mean, U-boats is basically like Swedish and German. Anyways, I actually really didn't want to do this. I knew that there were a chance that if they thought that I would fit the armed forces too good, they would take me, even if I didn't want to do it, because it was the year they changed the rules, but the rules still didn't really apply. You couldn't say no, I don't want to go there and do the tests. I was forced actually to still go to like the army center and do the tests to see if I would fit as a soldier, and if they would see me fit very well, they would still say like, no, we want you. You're gonna follow us, and you're gonna spend 9 months of your life doing stupid shit, sleeping in tents with bunch of men bunched up together and eating rations and shooting polar bears. No, I'm just kidding. No shooting polar bears, but everything else is basically true. But luckily, I actually didn't have to do it because of my bad eyesight. I have really bad eyesight. I can hardly read a book without glasses, and you think like, oh, Anders, that's not so bad. At least you see good at the distance. No, I actually don't. I see bad close and long range, so I wouldn't have been much help in the army anyways. But I was actually so afraid they would pick me and use me. I actually came up with a bunch of lies just to get out of it, like I couldn't sleep without my mom, because I was still living at home, and I was actually not still living at home, but my papers said that, like my social security, so to say, what the hell are you gonna call it, basically stated I still was living at my parents' place, because I was actually living in an apartment, the same apartment as my brother actually lives in now, but my mother was on the apartment contract, since I didn't have a job or anything at the time. I was still the one who was paying for the apartment, of course. I had a job, but not one of those jobs where you consider to make like good money. It was basically like a phone salesman job, and they don't take kindly to those kinds of job when you wanna like take a loan or have an apartment and stuff like that. Simply that's just not popular. So that was extremely good for me. So I knew I could like lie and say that, oh, I can't sleep without my mom, because they couldn't prove I wasn't living at home with my parents, so that was very good. But I actually didn't even have to do that. Or I said that, but they rejected me, not because of that, but because of my very, very bad eyesight. So I was pretty goddamn happy about that. That was pretty goddamn awesome. That made me happy that I didn't have to do that crap, because simply I had like a lot of other plans in life, and being paid like, oh, what is it? You get paid like $10,000 for those 9 months, and I mean, for you, I mean, $10,000 might sound like a lot of money, but I mean, for 9 months, it's not a very great pay. I mean, not many people can live 9 months on $10,000. I mean, that is not a lot of money. And I think I calculated, and it was like $1 an hour or some shit like that. It was really, really bad pay too. And I was making a lot more actually as a phone salesman, and I wanted to continue doing that, and that's what I actually continued doing until I started doing YouTube full time, like I'm doing right now. So for anyone who's wondering, like, Anders, what's your job? YouTube is actually my job, so I'm a pretty fortunate motherfucker. I like it. I enjoy it greatly. Got a lot of good friends on YouTube, have a lot of fun. A lot of boring moments too, when you gotta edit a ton of videos and sit in front of your computer 5 hours straight doing editing and stuff like that, and that's not very fun. But other than that, it's pretty goddamn awesome. It's pretty goddamn awesome. Anyways, where the fuck were I? The Värnplikt, I talked about that. Oh god damn it, I should really like make like notes. I basically just, I come up with a subject and then I just roll with it basically, and if I feel like I've talked enough about something, I just come up with something new, and right now I didn't come up with something new. Oh yeah, wait a second, I haven't really talked about this. Project PTFO. You guys might have heard about this. Me and Jack are gonna participate in that, but right now I don't actually know if it's gonna happen or not, because it seems like the guy or the people who are orchestrating it doesn't really have like 100%. They don't really know what the fuck they're doing, to be honest. I just get tired from reading the emails and like, oh, we were supposed to play a match during this weekend, but the enemies or the combatants we were gonna play against, they never responded, so that match was cancelled. So the 2 guys who got picked to play with us don't get to play that, of course, so 2 new guys was picked. I'm pretty happy about that though, because one of the guys seems to be a pretty decent player, and that kind of makes me happy. As always nice, since basically how PTFO is gonna work is gonna be squad rush, me and Jack, plus 2 random subscribers, 1 from me and 1 from him, every round, or maybe 2 from him and 0 from me. I actually don't know, but I'm gonna guess most his subscribers subscribe to me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, the point is that the same goes for the enemy team, 2 YouTubers with 2 of their random subscribers, so to say, and then we battle it out. For the glory, and I think there's gonna be some prizes too. I'm not really sure. The information about the whole project PTFO, the information has just been very, very bad. There hasn't been much information. God damn it! I don't really know what the fuck is going on, to be honest. It's like, it's like I gotta like, oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done much when it comes to like finding stuff out. It's basically Jack offered himself up to do that because I've been like super stressed lately, and that's, the PTFO is just another of those things I really want to do. But the fact is that it seems like they have like no idea what the fuck they're doing, because what you do when you have a competition like this. I mean, it's super awesome that the guys have like put this together. I mean, it's super nice that they've done it. It's super fun because it's something I would never have time to do. But how I think you should do it is you say you and you are gonna fight these 2 guys this day and this time, and that's it. If you can't do it, we will find some other ones who are gonna do it. So yeah, can you do it? And you say yes, and then you play. But how it was done now, it was like, oh, you guys find out which time fits for you, and then you talk with these guys, the other YouTubers, if that time goes work for them, and don't forget to talk to the subscribers if the time works for them, and all kinds of crap like that. And it's like, when you have a competition, you can't let the people competing in the competition choose the times where they're gonna compete, because that's just gonna fuck shit up. I mean, I would love it if they were like fucking manned up and like, oh, this is the time you guys are gonna compete, and this is the time, if you can't make it, we're gonna find some other ones you can. And that's basically what happened here. Or basically it went sideways because of these bad rules, simply. Because the guys that we were supposed to fight against, they just never showed up. They never said anything, they never did anything. I mean, before you even get to sign up, you should like, oh, can you play here now, this time, this day? Yes, then you get to sign up. If you can't, you don't get to sign up. So I mean, I'm a bit disappointed about that, but I'm hoping stuff will still work out, like after the first round of games, that like the host of all of this will like kind of wake up and kind of get his act together, so to say, no offense, but kind of make it work a bit better. So it will be a nice event where everyone gets a good amount of action and fun stuff, basically. And so yeah, I mean that's pretty sad, because two of you guys, two of my subscribers, or two of Jack's subscribers, or one of my subscribers, or one of Jack's subscribers, oh, fuck it, who gives a crap, basically didn't got to play because of those guys, like, not even like saying, hey, are you gonna play or not. They went AWOL, basically. They were like, ah, fuck it. And to be honest, I'm kind of like thinking the same. I'm like, is it even worth it? I mean, luckily now Jack is actually doing all the work. He's like checking all the times and stuff like that. So he's being a great friend right now, because I simply wouldn't have time to do that, because I need to spend all my time I can on making videos and kind of responding to a few comments you guys have and stuff like that, and basically doing my job, my job as a YouTuber, supplying you guys with great amount of entertainment and ribbly-rabbling and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I just ribbly-rabbling. Anyways, but yeah, that's what kind of bothering me with the whole thing, that it's like no one really knows what the fuck is going on. I would rather have it like that you kind of got told, basically, this time you're supposed to play, and this time you're not supposed to play, and basically stuff like that. And I mean, I wish that was better. And I don't know how the fuck that jet survived. I mean, I'm pretty goddamn sure that tank round fucking hit straight on. I don't know, I might put in like an instant replay on that one, but that's just fucking stupid. I'm pretty goddamn sure I hit him straight on, in the wing or in the canopy or something like that, but he still fucking survived. Sneaky bastard. Probably Russian. No, wait, I'm on the Russian side. It's American. Sneaky American. So basically, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tank gameplay, by the way, since this is something I really haven't done before. I haven't really done a whole round of tank gameplay, and I was lucky this round. I managed to get tanks all the time, and this Trixie Beat, I'm guessing he's a subscriber or a very good teammate, because he made sure to stay with me and like repair the tank a shitload. So but I think he got a pretty good score too, so that's nice. Always nice to see when team players get a good score too, so to say. It sucks when they don't, since yeah, as a driver or a gunner, you get a lot more score now when your squad mate kills someone. Instead of just 20, you get like 70 or some shit like that. So that's very nice. I gotta say, I like that. I mean, I like almost everything post-patch except the mass bug, and of course except the fucking Vaseline on my screen every time someone shoots at me. I mean, the suppression is just horribly bad. You guys gotta agree with me. I mean, anyone who actually can aim a little bit, I mean, hardcore noobs might like it. I mean, And now I'm not talking about like hardcore in the game, but like noobs who really are noobs, like they just started out and all they know is spraying and praying. They've never played an FPS game before. They probably like it, but I mean any normal guy like me or you guys who actually have played FPS games for a while and know how to shoot and aim, and you aim for the head and shoot for the head, but you can't hit it because you're suppressed like a motherfucker. Yeah, that pisses at least me off, and I'm guessing that pisses a lot of other people off, and I really hope DICE will come with a patch soon, but sadly it looks like they're not gonna patch it before the update, or the the DLC, the Close Quarters DLC. I really hope they will patch it right before they release that, but I'm kind of afraid they won't even patch it before, like, after that, so to say, so I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. As usual, have a wonderful day, bye bye.